Hello everybody, Nate here, and today we're going to be discussing the Harbor Freight hard case Pelican knockoffs. These have been out for a few years now, and there's been quite a few reviews on them. And these are my first two Harbor Freight knockoffs that I bought there. They are the Apache brand, and I bought these two. These are the 2800 series, and they are $30, $29 and some change at Harbor Freight. These are a knockoff of Pelican cases. I personally became aware of the Pelican cases about 14 years ago. The type of work that I was doing, we had a lot of high dollar equipment, a lot of high dollar electronics, and we were traveling a lot around the country and some around the world, and we needed hard cases that could protect our equipment, and we spent a lot of money. The companies I worked for spent a lot of money purchasing Pelican cases to protect our equipment, and I became a big fan of them. I still have a few of these smaller Pelican cases that I use to carry some of my personal gear around with, but I just recently bought a little drone and some more camera equipment, and I thought, why not try out these Harbor Freight cases? They look like they are made very well, and they have pretty good reviews, and so I figured we would buy a couple of them and see what they are. So let's take a look at these cases right here. Initial look at them, they appear to be made very well. The handle is nice and sturdy, doesn't shake around. It does have the pressure release valve that you want to make sure that you close if you're going to get this near water. It's got nice ridges on the top, which should help with durability as far as pressure on it. Now, obviously, I'm not doing a whole lot, but just putting my arm on it and some weight on it, it doesn't really move or flex at all. The hinges on the back appear to be very well made, and the thing that I was most concerned about was going to be the latches. Would they latch well? And I will say that the latches on these have very good retention, and I think that they will hold very well. The case seems to seal up in a very good manner. The lid is very, very sturdy. The hinge seems to be very well made. And overall, these cases seem to be made very, very well. I would not be surprised if these were actually made in the same factory that the Pelican cases are. Just the way that they look, the way that they are, they're very well made. There is a seal around here. There's a gasket around here to help with sealing out moisture, and I believe that it would probably hold up pretty well. I haven't done any destructive testing on this case. If you want to see some destructive testing, maybe make some comments down below, and maybe we'll buy one and drive it over with the truck or something and see just how durable they are. Now, the one thing that I will say that I'm not a huge fan of, and it's not just this brand, it's any brand, and Pelican has cases that have this as well, is I'm personally not a huge fan of the pick and pull foam inserts. I know that they do that because not everybody has a hot wire to cut out the pieces that you need, but they just, in my opinion, they come apart too easy, even though I will say their foam is pretty well attached to each other. And if you're just doing a square or rectangular shape like we did for this drone here, it is pretty easy to do. And the foam insert in these, it's basically two inserts, right? So you have the top half and the bottom half, so there's an identical one to this beneath it. The drone and everything for this only needed to take out the top half. So you want to make sure that you leave enough below your object that you're getting some pressure on it from this top egg carton shaped piece of foam, so that you're getting pressure on it and things aren't moving around, because you don't want your items that are in here flopping all over the place, right, as you're carrying it around. So for this application, the pick and pull was just fine. However, you have something that is a little bit more intricate in detail, such as we were putting a camera into this one. It works, but I would have much rather had a solid piece of foam that we could cut. You know, we could have taken a hot butter knife, we could have taken a hot piece of wire and cut it out, and then we'd still have a much more solid piece of foam. In this case, nothing quite fits perfectly square. We've got the eyepiece, we've got a small lens that's attached to the camera, and then the camera body itself is much deeper. So we actually needed to go halfway into the next piece of foam. So what we ended up having to do was cut all the way through the foam and then cut that leftover piece in half and then slip it back down in there so that we had foam on the bottom. Not sure if that makes sense. So this works. It's going to work for a long time, but it's a little bit annoying. I would have much rather had a solid piece of foam. With that being said, for $30, I don't think you can find a better case to protect your equipment than these Harbor Freight knockoff cases. Now, obviously this is the smaller size. It's not the smallest one they have, but it's on the smaller size, and they do go up from there. But, you know, this could handle a couple pistol and some magazines. You know, I've got a camera and a couple lenses in this one. This one I've got my DJI Mini 3. Everything fits in there that I need. They're stackable. You can kind of throw them around. And overall, I think they're very good value. I personally would not go out and buy a Pelican case right now. Not when you can get these from Harbor Freight for so cheap. That's my 2 cents on it. If you like the channel, like the content, we'd certainly appreciate it if you would hit that like button, subscribe button, and we'll be doing some more videos here in the near future. Till next time, y'all take care.